Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Adrian, and in this video I'm going to show you all the details of the Jacob Hamblin Arch sneaker route rappel point. This is an excerpt of a longer video I made on the area, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link to it down in the description, but I figured I'd make a shorter video just to focus on the rappel and ascent. I hope you find it helpful. Here you go. Okay, here it is. Here is the first descent to the rappel point right here. Well, I found the little arch section where you tie in, and it is a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. So there is one bolt here. Good spot. So there's a bolt right here. Let me show you this. So here's one bolt. So you could bring your own hardware and connect into this, which had I known this was here, I would have done that. So I definitely recommend it. But we've got this, and I got a rangefinder and I brought it with me so I could measure the distance from this point down to the bottom and see how far that is. So that's what I'm going to do now. It's not reading. I think it just loses the laser. It's too bright. Yeah, it's losing the laser. It's saying 3 and 29/30 seconds. Okay, so my rangefinder, I guess the laser's not bright enough for it to hit all the way down there. It can go 400 feet, it says, but maybe those are in perfect ideal conditions because it could not read it. So we've got a 210-foot rope, 64 meter Imlay, the Canyon Fire. It's an 8.3 millimeter rope, and that's what we're gonna rappel down on. I'm gonna set some webbing up on this arch. All right, I'm about to start. I would not recommend doing this without gear, without a rope and a harness and being tied in. I've seen a lot of people do it online, and I guess they're okay at the risk, but I'm not. All it would take is one slip, and you would not be stopping until you hit the bottom of this. If you slip on this, it's over. It's game over. So safety first. Might not look like it on camera, but it is pretty steep. If you have the right skill, you could do this without a rope, but that would be pretty dangerous in my opinion. Any rock climber watching this would probably just laugh, but I'm not a rock climber, and I'm all about safety. So descending this with rope and gear wasn't bad at all. I mean, it was super easy, but without gear, it would have been sketchy. I wouldn't have felt comfortable doing it. It was basically just walking down backwards with a rope. I used the rope to assist quite a bit, so a rope is definitely helpful. I would highly recommend bringing a rope. Again, I have a 64 meter, that's 210 feet. It's the Imlay Canyon Fire, 8.3 millimeter. Awesome rope, really happy with it. So now we're gonna head down to this lower section and see what it looks like. Okay, so here's that lower section. I was just standing right up there, about there somewhere, and our rope is getting all the way down to about here, and this is the final descent, which you don't need rope for this. That's like a staircase. Really the easiest way to get down sandstone is by going backwards. All right, so there it is. Not sure if you can see this, but that is the whole climb. Not too bad. Bring a rope and harness. All right, so here's the lower part of the ascent. I'm gonna have Amanda film me going up so you can see what that looks like. It's pretty steep. It's a pretty steep angle. It's about like this, but a lot of good placements and a lot of good footholds. So now we're gonna go up and tackle that and see how that goes. Should be pretty simple with the rope. You really can't see in this video how steep it is. And it's not terrible, but it's definitely not something I feel comfortable doing without a rope. Again, because one slip and it's over. You will just fall down this entire thing if you slip at all on it. So it's a pretty high risk, high consequence of failure. It is pretty steep. You can see right over there, that's about the angle of all this right there. So it is pretty vertical. Depending on your level of skill, you could easily find a way, but again, it's a high risk, high consequence if you fall here. All right, well, there was the climb up. That was pretty fast with the right gear. Here's the second little climb out. Pretty straightforward. You'll just walk up this like this. This one is not too bad. I mean, it still could be very dangerous if you slip, but not dangerous like the other one, where If you slip, you are for sure going down the rest of this canyon. This one is not quite that bad. And then before you know it, you're up and out. So, good times. It was a fun little hike. Beautiful place. Definitely bring a rope and a harness so you can rappel down that and be safe. Make sure you can auto arrest the fall. So tie a Prusik or a Klemheist on there, or use a device that will auto arrest you if you do slip, because that fall would leave you in bad shape.